Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all the latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have any question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now, make sure to let me know how this audio is. This is a brand new computer. I can hear the fans kicking up, which is a good thing because that means it should be hopefully having no stutter this time around. Let me know how it goes. It still seems to be using a lot of the CPU even on this new computer. So hopefully it sounds good. Hopefully the audio is most part in sync. Again, this is a quick fix, so hopefully everything is set. All right, now let's get to some of the news, starting off with the new iPhone 12s. So the big thing is that we have a list of the new iPhone 12s, and the interesting thing here is we are missing the regular iPhone 12 in this. So let's go through them, right? So we have the iPhone 12 mini, which will be a 5.4-inch display. We have a regular iPhone 12 Pro, which will be a 6.1, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which will be a 6.7. Now they do have a kind of caveat here, which is that the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro are the same exact size. I think that would be kind of interesting if that would happen, just because it seems kind of like, why would it be the same size? I think that's kind of interesting for Apple to do that. To be fair, it could save case manufacturers a lot of stuff, but I just don't know. It seems very un-Apple-like, like they slightly change it, unless it is a cost-cutting reduction that Apple obviously can make one chassis for both devices, and that obviously will make it a lot easier for them. In that case, a lot of parts will be similar. So this could be something interesting, but really let me know what you guys think overall. It is interesting. We do see a 12/12 Pro and then 12 mini and 12 Pro Max, but this is reconfirming that we are getting a mini, a Pro, and a Pro Max, and possibly a regular 12 as well. The really interesting question is, what is the mini's price point going to be? And will the mini have 5G as well? I think that's going to be a big thing that we'll kind of have to wait and see. I think it would be genius for Apple to have the mini without 5G starting at something like $599, and then have the iPhone 12 with 5G start at $799, and you can kind of just see where it goes from there. Basically, you got a smaller screen phone and non-5G, so it saves you a lot of money here and there, and you'll still sell because it's an iPhone and you're just selling at a cheaper price. It's so funny because Tim Cook actually did make the announcement earlier this week that Apple never strives to sell them. It can't be a monopoly because we don't try to do the most, we strive to be the best. That is not the current Apple. That was Steve Jobs' Apple. Tim Cook is all about selling more. They're all about selling more, and this again proves it. They have created an SE, they've created a mini. They're all about selling more now because their end game is now to get you into their services, and they already have so many people into their ecosystem, so they just want to create that ecosystem part they have and add it to their services, and then they win. So yeah. All right, the Pixel 5 has pretty much been confirmed. We've seen images of it now. We've seen the green mint. So there's lots of different things to it now. The one thing we were wondering was, what is going to be the price point? And now we have that. And the price point seems like it will be $699. Now that is really big because we just had another phone come out at $699, and it seems like this will be an awesome battle. This is also why I'm so curious of where the iPhone 12 will land, if it'll land at the $699 price point or if it'll land at the $799 price point. I personally believe it'll land at the $799 price point, but even if the mini goes at this price at $699, then you really have something here. You have an awesome $700 lineup that makes it so, hey, you don't have to go the $1,000+ phones. You can stick right here. Because $699 I think is a really good price for the Pixel 5. I myself can't wait for it. I have the Fold 2, and I can already tell the camera isn't as good as the Note 20. I can just tell that flat out. But I will say that I do have a Gcam on there, so I have a Gcam working on the the Fold 2. So it's good, but I feel like if I'm going to have the Fold 2, I want another phone that I can rely more on the camera. And what better one to have than the Pixel 5? Those two combination in my pocket. A Pixel 5 for the camera, Fold 2 for the check, and definitely for the video quality. I think that's a great combination, and that's one thing I'm looking forward to. Speaking of the three-way tie at this price point, though, Pixel 5 is going to be one of them, iPhone could be the other, and the third one was just announced this week, and that is the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. This should have been the S20. The S20 FE is everything that the S20 should have been, could have been, and they could have budgeted the phone at this price point and it would have killed it. If this would have been the S20, people would have bought it in droves. It would have outsold the S10, even with all the craziness of 2020. I was so, again, annoyed with how high Samsung went to $1,000. This is $300 less, and this is what it should have been at all along. So what is the S20 FE? Well, first of all, it still has your Super AMOLED display. It still has your 120 Hz refresh rate. By the way, a pre-order is $70 off right now. It has the triple camera setup, 12 megapixels with ultra wide, wide, and telephoto with 3 times optical zoom. And 3 times is apparently real optical. And then you also have a 4,500 milliamp battery. So just a lot of stuff, a 32 megapixel front camera. And so I'm just like, why wasn't this done originally? It really should have been. And yeah, this is awesome. I love that it comes in so many colors. And again, it's $70 off with the pre-order discount right now. I really think this is great. And if you want a flagship phone, I think this will easily be the top selling S20. And before, when I was already thinking about the best phones at the end of the year, I thought which S series is going to go in that slot in the top 10. And I'd lean towards the S20 Plus because it was the best overall phone for the price and for everything. Now, that is no longer going to be the case. The S20 FE is the phone that I believe everyone should go with if you want a new Samsung flagship with all the latest specs. May not have the best camera features as some of the other ones, but you know what? It really does have a lot of them, and it really stands out. I'm going to reach out to Samsung to see if they'll send us one, but it really is something that I think everyone should consider if you're looking for a flagship phone at not a high-end flagship price these days. But yeah, I even think because as far as I know, T-Mobile had their A71 5G at this price point. I would easily recommend this over it. It's just, yeah, it's everything you want, I would say, in a flagship at this price. So really good job, Samsung. This one versus the Pixel 5 should be a very interesting fight. All right, and a really awesome update. I am now considering the Galaxy Watch 3, which I wasn't before, and I'm considering it because it now has the ECG built into it, which is really awesome. That update has come to the US. Very happy for that, and we'll see. It supposedly could be that the watch that will get more updates to the Active 2 as well. The Active 2 will be getting a new updated Tizen to make it more like the Watch 3, which is good because I have one of those somewhere around here. I have my Galaxy Watch here, but I know I have my Active somewhere around here. Yeah. There we go. And so yeah, so that one will be able to update, which is awesome too. So I'll check that out, and I am just so happy for this one though, because I really think it's a very important thing that I think they should have had at launch, but not too far after launch, to be fair, about less than a month, I would say, after. So good update, and definitely one that I am excited for. And again, I might honestly consider the Galaxy Watch 3 now for this feature alone. All right, Amazon announced a bunch of new Echo devices, and I thought let's go over them a little bit and kind of go through it. So these are all available for pre-order now. The Echo is a spherical device, and I think it was 9 to 5 Google that pointed this out. It totally copied the Nexus Q. This is totally a Nexus Q, Amazon. It is so funny to me. For those of you who don't know, because it was a failed experiment, the Nexus Q was the old device before Chromecast came out, and before Android TV came out, and it was basically like I think it was in between Google TV, which was a box they had before, and and basically it was kind of like to do audio to your sound systems and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, totally carbon copy with a different name, basically. But yeah, I thought it was very funny that, yeah, totally copied off the Nexus Q. But anyway, so this is the new Echo. They are no longer the way they were before. They're spherical now. And you have the same, you have the Echo Dot with clock, so one has numbers on it. And then you also have the kids one, which the kid one is really cool. There's a tiger and a panda bear. It's a really cool thing. If we were an Amazon household, I would definitely get it for my daughter. But my daughter actually, I think, has one of these ones in terms of like the Google Home, the standard one. So the Echo Show 10 came out, and the reason why this one is so interesting is because it will actually turn and follow you. Now that is really cool and something that I think would be really great for a living room. So I actually usually during my lunch call in to my family through video chat. I can see my baby boy, I can see my daughter doing hopefully her work in school, and then talk to my wife and just catch up and anything, right? So I do that a couple times a week just to make sure I'm still here, kind of thing. And this would be so great because sometimes, the family is moving around from different parts of the room, and this would be great as a following mechanism. I sincerely hope Google does something like this because this makes me want this device just for this feature alone. I don't use Amazon for calling. I never did, even when I had the Amazon Echo. But this is just such a good feature, and it's compatible with Zoom already, which is the biggest thing that it needs to be compatible with. So yeah, that one is one that I'm very interested in for these features alone. Then we also have the Amazon Fire TV Stick and Fire TV Lite. This one is just basically really important because it's cutting it down to 30 bucks. So really good for everything you offer at that price point. 4K is basically becoming cheaper and cheaper to get a streaming stick to. So that's really awesome. I mean, more affordability is better, definitely for everything you need it to be. So yeah. And of course, this is the one everyone roots, or not roots, but adds things onto so you can watch all the, pirated stuff. That's the main reason why people buy Fire Sticks. Luna is very interesting. So Amazon is promising the world, just like Google did with Stadia, for a gaming controller system. I did sign up to be one of the first people, so we'll see if I get it or when I get it. But I'm very interested in this because of the fact that pretty affordable, $5 a month, and I'm very curious because it really said that it connects straight to the server, so it doesn't connect to your device, to your TV. It connects to the servers directly through your Wi-Fi, and then that input is to your TV because it connects directly from the server. So it's a roundabout way of doing it, but Amazon servers are right up there with Google. If not, people have argued the better one. So I'm very curious to see the power of AWS, that's Amazon's service for their servers. Very curious to see how that goes. Eero is Amazon's setup for network. The thing I don't like about the Eeros is you don't seem to be able to get a triple set of the Pro 6, at least not at launch, which if I'm going to get a router system to replace mine, I want the top all around, and I want there to be Wi-Fi 6, and I want them to be all the way around. I do want a new router system, and I'm hoping to get one that have all Wi-Fi 6, so that's going to be the biggest thing for sure. All right. Hey, we got a super chat donation. Paul, is the Samsung game launcher good? Is it worth using? And is there anything better? I do use the game launcher. For one, it's a great way to organize everything. So that's a really, really big thing for me. All my games are in there and they're not in another folder. So organization is the biggest part of why I would say I use it. But Amazon, Google does have, or sorry, Samsung does have their own game booster, which is in the Galaxy store. So if you wanted to kind of really lean towards gaming, you can do that instead as well, or in addition to. So, but the biggest thing that I would say that it's useful for is definitely the fact of having it as an organization tool. But I will say that overall, as a performance, it doesn't have the same options that it used to a couple of years ago. Okay, and then one of the biggest things for sure was the new ring accessories for the car, because the biggest one, oh, they didn't go over here, but the biggest one was the ring car recorder, cam, that basically records inside and outside, and you can say the A word, I'm being pulled over, and it will start recording automatically. That is pretty big in this day and age. Again, I don't want to get into politics right now, but that is something that's pretty interesting for sure. So yeah, and then there's one that kind of was same kind of like diagnostic tool that you could just kind of know where your car is located if it's stolen or anything like that. And then the hub that kind of connects it all together, and it can even give you internet in your car. So lots of things there for that. Then we have the new Chromecast that it leaked. It was actually on sale in Walmart stores, and they sold it before the date was supposed to. So yeah, this is what it looks like. So this is a new Chromecast, and it does have a remote now because it is a standalone device. Instead of you needing to connect a phone to it, it works on its own, so that is great. I like the controller, just a circle, OK select button, a back button, a Google Home Assistant, home, mute, and YouTube and Netflix, pretty good. The thing I don't know, if it doesn't have on the side, I want a volume rocker, right? You can't just have a mute button. I want a volume rocker, so hopefully it does have that. Power and source, these two should basically connect to your TV itself, which is really good because then you could just turn on your TV with power and then switch to source to this, and that's all you need. So great. I'm really happy with that. But yeah, so overall, it's pretty interesting. And actually, if we look at this manual, okay, it does have a volume rocker right here. So yeah, you have your TV power and input, you have your microphone built in, pretty much set. I mean, I'm very happy with this in terms of what it is, in terms of what you need. I have all of my stuff on Roku's. So there is certain things that you can get on here that you can't get, by the way, on a Roku, for instance. So if this is based off of Android TV, and it actually looks like it's a better version by how the look of it is, it looks like a more modernized version of it, and it will be called Google TV. The whole idea behind this is that I will say you have apps like HBO Max and Peacock. Peacock, I think, is finally going to Roku, but that wasn't on Roku, and it wasn't on Fire Stick. So I was actually using it from my smart TV to watch HBO Max, but actually now I have an Android projector that I'm reviewing. Review should come at the end of this week. That is really awesome because I can actually see HBO Max on my projector because it has Android TV. That's something I could not do with a Roku right now. So that is a really cool ability, and it looks really awesome in how it works, and it looks fast too. So we'll have to wait and see how it really looks overall when we get to test it out. All right, guys, and the last bit of news is just some update on the processors for next year. It looks like we will be having an 875 processor as the top flagship processor, and then we will also have a 775, which will be the new mid-range processor that takes over all the mid-range phones, the $700, $800 phones that we've been seeing coming out with the new processors this year. So I think that's going to be good. These will be down to 6 nanometer chips, so that's really awesome to see and definitely something well to have. So really can't wait for those. All right, guys, that is the news. So go ahead and start asking your questions in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Sorry, that was a long talk right there. All right, let's get to your questions. Again, if you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section, and I will answer it. Let's get to it. Hello, Ricky. I purchased an S20 Plus. Did Samsung remove the Wave to View screen feature? Yes. If you're referring to the Wave motion stuff, they have removed that for a little while now. Basically, how that went was as soon as we got the punch hole cameras, it went away from there because the sensor that would detect it is actually underneath the display, and it doesn't turn on for almost any third-party apps, so therefore you cannot use it for the wave gesture anymore. It really does suck. I really do miss Wave Control. That is the app that I used to use to control everything. You can use it on phones that don't have a punch hole, so I could actually use it on my Red Magic 5GS. That is a really awesome phone, and review is coming shortly. But that is the kind of phone you could still do it for, but you cannot do it for a phone that has a punch hole or a teardrop camera. Does super fast charge work? It seems like my Galaxy S8 Plus charge faster than the S20 Plus. So yes, it does work. If you're using super fast charge, you're using the 25-watt charger plus basically for it. So I have up to the 45-watt charger in my home, so I mainly use that one. But yes, your 25-watt fast charge will charge it much faster. Here's the thing you have to understand though too. Your S8 Plus had a smaller battery in comparison to it, so there's a little bit of a shift there. Yes, it is faster, but you also have to make sure you checked out our video on how to set up and speed up the phone, because regular fast charge is not on by default. You have to turn that on, which I believe is in settings, battery, and then three dots, and then settings, something like that there. But I don't recall off the top of my head. I know I just filmed it in my Note 20 video, so even if you want to check out that video, I definitely went over it there, because again, it isn't fast charge is not on by default. Super fast charge is, but regular fast charge, so any other like Qualcomm quick charge or any other of those, which is 18 watt or faster charge, is not on by default. So make sure that's on as well. I put my S20 Plus in the charger. It said an hour and a half. It was 20%. It's been like 30 minutes. It's at 27%. Yeah, something's definitely wrong there. Check the connections also if it was loose, because that would be my first thought on it, or if your case is possibly blocking it. Some cases I have found actually do block it from actually being able to do that. So yeah, make sure that that's set up. Apple is not a monopoly. There are other phones available. Why is it so hard for Apple haters to understand? Apple is a monopoly. You cannot put any software that you want on their platform. That means that they are a monopoly in that platform. So by design, they are a monopoly. Period. By design, they wanted to be a monopoly. They wanted to have complete control over everything in their ecosystem. So yeah, especially when it came to iOS, that was we rule this. It is fact. It's not a question. It's a fact. So yeah, it doesn't take an Apple hater to be against that. It's the fact that that's what it is. My sister bought a A50 several months ago, and it's giving her problems. it's losing signal sometimes, loses internet, overheats at times. Um, so how'd she put it in the fridge? Bought it on Walmart. So I mean that sounds like a bad phone. You have a 1 year manufacturer warranty. Use it. I always tell people to use their 1 year manufacturer warranty. It's there for a reason. Definitely use it if you can. Uh, Mini LED on the next iPad Pro. Yes, but we have been hearing that for over 2 years now that Mini LED would be coming to iPad Pro. I think it, quite frankly, needs it at this point to really rival what Samsung brought to the table because the Tab S7 Plus is absolutely amazing, and Apple still doesn't have OLED displays. They are still stuck on on regular LCD displays. So I think they need Mini LED so it really can compete and in some ways be better than OLED, and then they'll kind of jump over Samsung in terms of displays. So yeah, that's a really important factor that I think they need at this point. So I think they're more likely to do it now because although Samsung won't sell nearly as many tablets as it, for a multimedia device, it's the best one out right now. I would say just from testing it for over a week now, it is really awesome. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions flooded. Everybody drink. Tape the cap. The best budget wireless charger for the S10. I don't know. I would just say get an older Samsung wireless charger. There are so many of them now that they're probably lower cost than they would have been when they came out. It's just I have seen crummy, really low quality wireless chargers that aren't just that good. I mean, yeah, you want to get one that at least has 10 watt fast wireless charge. Samsung goes up to 15, so if you can get one that has up to 15 watt wireless charge, then do that. The main one I have at my desk, most people know, is the one that does do 15 on one side and 10 on the other. So really good when it comes to that. If you have two of them on here at the same time, then then it goes 10-10. So yeah, really good. I've never had any complaints with this one. You can also look into getting something from iAudi. So this is a really good one. Very good looking too. So this has wireless charging built in, but it also has a 18-watt Type-C connection too. So if you have it, and it's a battery pack if you can't tell. So you can kind of like leave it just charging always and use it when you have to go, take it out and use it there. So there's lots of different ones you can get that have great options all the way around, but those are just some benefits to it for sure. Do you think I should return my Note 20 5G and get the S20 FE 5G instead? Okay, so let's go over that. The Note 20 definitely will have the better camera quality. In terms of display, it's a little bigger, of course. In terms of battery size, it's the same. In terms of glass back instead of the regular, but camera would be the biggest difference. I would definitely say off the top of my head, camera is going to be the biggest difference for sure. The other thing that might be something you should kind of remember is, of course, if you want the pen. If you like that pen quality, then it's going to be another feature. But it's not a bad trade-off. It's not a bad trade-off at all to go to the SE and the FE and save money. I mean, you can get yourself a Galaxy Watch 3 for that price, right? And some accessories. So not bad for sure. It's but yeah, definitely a decision you could think of. I have the OtterBox commuter case for my S20 Plus. Which privacy screen protector would you recommend? With the commuter case, I don't know the privacy screen ones actually. I know Zag makes one, but I do not. I've never gotten a privacy screen protector, so I don't know them off the top of my head on which different brands make them. Most people know the one I always get is the Whitestone Dome Glass. I just got one for the Fold, which I'm kind of scared to put any liquid around this, so I'm gonna be very cautious of doing that one. But that is one that I just got right now that, yeah, I've always used them. I've always loved them. So never had an issue with them. So I'm probably going to put it on there shortly. Let's see. You could rename it the Amazon Echo Q, Home Planet Green Lantern. Oa. There you go. Because it's very hard to escape its sight. Green Lantern's light. Yes. Ricky, why is GameStop struggling? Do you think GameStop will fail like Blockbuster? Just wanted your opinion. If you wanted to see a really good explanation on companies and why they made wrong turns and why they did bad, check out this YouTube channel. Not affiliated with this channel at all, but the Company Man, I think its name is. Let me just check if I have that right. I think it's called the Company Man, and he goes in depth. I think he went over GameStop, but it's Company Man. So just Company Man. He just hit 1 million subscribers recently too, so it's really cool. But I swear and he goes over like companies that have even like the rise and fall and rise again. So Best Buy was one of those that they were on their way out of business, but then they came back up. Same with he did the one on speaking of Blockbuster, on Kmart, on Radio Shack, all these different companies. But I want to see, has he done GameStop? Yes, the decline of GameStop. What happened? It has over 1 million views. So that would be a really good one to go check out. But I really love I love an analytical mind, I guess that you could say. So I love his detail on why these companies went bad, and it really makes me always think, because yeah, if I would start a company, what have people done wrong so you know not to do that. So yeah, really good one to go check out that. But in my take, on my opinion on why GameStop, because it's getting one. I think they've made some bad decisions. They did some interesting spending. They bought a dealer that wasn't on there. They bought a dealer for AT&T. So I thought that was kind of interesting because they got into the cell phone business basically without really announcing it. But that was one thing they bought that I know about, coming from the telecommunication and marketing side. And then, of course, they bought what was it, ThinkGeek.com, which was a great site. I always used it because it was just awesome geek stuff. And they bought it and didn't really do anything with it, and then it went out of business. ThinkGeek did, at least. So then they brought more merchandise to their stores, but they just don't have any focus on merchandise like ThinkGeek did. They should have kept it as a separate thing, in my opinion. So yeah, it was issues like that, and then more and more games are going digital. And the whole premise behind GameStop to stay in business is physical games, selling them, and then people buying used versions of them. And because they are losing that platform, it is a really big thing for them that I think that it's hurting them. And with the next generation of consoles, it's going to be a lot worse. You have the two best-selling consoles will not be the more expensive versions. The Xbox One, or the Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation 5 digital will be the top-selling versions of those. It's already been proven, right? Pre-orders, the digital version went out way before right before the disc version went out. Luckily, I got the digital version, so I'm very happy I was able to get that. So yeah, so those are the kind of things that I'm just like, wow, like, that kind of stuff is going to hurt GameStop for sure. So very big thing when it comes to that, I will say. But yeah, that's what I think was one of the biggest things that's hurting GameStop. Again, me for myself, I chose the digital version over the other one. Why? Because I've seen so many sales now on digital versions of games that I'm just like, I like this. This is so much easier. I don't have to keep the disc around. Yes, I don't get to resell it like I used to, but honestly, if I'm honest with myself, I really stopped doing that a little while ago anyway, so this just makes more sense. Amazon game launcher is called Atrium or something. All right. I'll check it out. Good night, Rudy. Sorry you left a while ago. Have you seen the new Jabra 85Ts or upcoming update for the 75Ts? Yes, I have. I've been in contact. So yeah, hopefully we will be getting the Jabra 85Ts in the studio. I contacted them immediately as soon as it was announced. I posted it on my Twitter. Again, if you ever want to keep up with me, just follow me at YouTube Tech Guy on Twitter. For any news kind of stuff, I generally post on there first. If there's a photo to go along with it, I'll post on Instagram as well. But generally, I'm always on Twitter for those kind of posts. And yeah, it was, I love the look of it. They did the two things they needed to: wireless charging and noise cancellation, active noise cancellation. So Jabra just might. I do love my Samsung Beans, as I call them, but the Samsung Galaxy Live Buds Live. But man, Jabra with active noise canceling, I can't wait. I can't wait. Um, Unfortunately, as of now, Stadia is not compatible with the new Google TV. That really sucks. That really sucks. I mean, how can you not do that? Again, I've just not played Stadia. I fell out of it for a while. Are there any info on the iPhone 12? No, the main thing was that I'd said in the beginning that we did get confirmation with stickers, images for the new cases that yes, there will be an iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12, and iPhone 12 Pro. Again, I said this at the beginning, but that the mini would be a 5.4-inch display, so very, very tiny, smaller than the SE. 6.1-inch display on the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, and iPhone 12 Pro Max, 6.7-inch display. No, Monopoly would be if iPhones are the only phones that the person could buy. No, a monopoly would be if you didn't have any competition that could also put iOS on a phone. That would be a monopoly as well. A monopoly would be if I wanted to create a software for an OS and I can't unless I go through the store. There's no way to download one outside of it unless, of course, you jailbreak it. But Apple doesn't want you to do that and deems that as a misuse of their device. So yes, again, if there could be other manufacturers that could use iOS, then it would not be a monopoly. But yeah, kind of have to learn those laws. What is your new PC model? How are you liking it thus far? Video and sound are great and with no lag. That is awesome to hear. It is a beautiful sight over here. I am going to keep that before I go to the video, but if you did check out our Instagram, our Twitter, or our Facebook, all at YouTube Tech Guy, you do know the manufacturer already. And again, I will reveal which computer it is and why I got it in a video, because that I think is a really big one on why I got this computer all around. iOS 14 widgets along with shortcut apps has endless possibilities. It does, but it really needs to be better than the shortcut apps thing. It's such a weird workaround that it's not as good. So the whole thing about the where you tap it, then it goes to I forget what I think it's called shortcuts. I always think of Bixby routines, but you click the shortcut, then it goes to the shortcut app, then it goes to the app that you want. It's not right. It's like, for me on I think it was this phone, I changed the themes on this one to be the Google the Google version, stock Pixel version, because I didn't like the icons that came with it. So that is just changing the icon. This is a roundabout way, so I really don't like. I get it. iOS people are happy. I get it. That's awesome. I'm so happy that they have these features now. But to call it anywhere near, like, yes, it looks good for a photo op, but in terms of actually functionality, that's such a roundabout way that's not as good for sure. Is the Samsung Galaxy 9 any good? Yes. Yeah, why wouldn't it be good? I guess it's just how much it would be priced compared to what else you can get. That's the biggest thing. Because if you can get something else for around that price, then you have to consider if it's worth getting. Um, is there a speaker on the back of the S20 Plus? I have a square on the back of mine. I have a T-Mobile version. Is there a No, there's no speaker on the back of the S20 Plus. Did you really mean to say that? There's no speaker on the back of the S20 Plus. I know this isn't the S20 Plus, but there's no speaker on the back of here. There's a mic. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. But no, the speaker's on the bottom for the S20 Plus, and the earpiece is used as the secondary. Let's see. I'm gonna have to use a 1-year warranty. My left buds live stopped working. Nothing tried seemed to fix. Message Samsung support. Still nada. I know I had an issue with my Buds Plus, and I had to put them in the case and hold down the button for like 10 seconds till it recalibrated, and that fixed it. So try to see if that will work for the live. I don't know if they have a touch sensor there, so it might work the same, but try that. AT&T CEO warns that 5G won't sell phones as much as investors think. Thoughts? I've said that for a long time now. I agree there isn't a real benefit for the average consumer regarding 5G. Well, it's funny the AT&T CEO said that, since they lied to their customers with 5GE, which was the biggest scam of the telecommunications market for a while. Like, that was just such a scam. And again, like, if court cases were more well known, it would be so much beneficial for the public, I swear, because AT&T was sued by Sprint, and AT&T's whole defense was, okay, it's called 5GE, but nobody really believes that they have 5G. What? That was their defense. They settled out of court, but that was their defense. It was so annoying. It was so annoying. So yeah, it's really bad. But yeah, I've said that for over a year and a half, if not 2 years by now. I feel like that. Well, maybe it could be 2020 feels like forever. But yeah, it's really a bad thing in terms of, with this, you have something that isn't it. Mid band is the only thing that matters really right now. Low band is great. I have that with T-Mobile. I have that. It's funny because my wife, I'm upgrading her to the Note 20, and she was like, "Oh, it has a little 5G at the top," and I'm like, "Yeah, this phone has 5G." She's like, "Why did my Note have it?" And I'm like, "Well, your Note last year didn't have it." So yeah. So people don't even really notice it though. Like, it's not that big of a difference, right? But once I think you get the mid band in more places, you're getting over 100 megabits per second on a standard speed. That is really a big thing. So yeah. Ricky, would you recommend Office 365 or G Suite? I'm thinking of choosing one of these services. So here's my thing actually. First of all, what do you need it for? In terms of, do you need it for multiple devices? Because unless you need it for multiple devices, I still actually just flat out buy Microsoft Office. Like, I just buy a Microsoft Office. Luckily, I'm at a company right now, so I get 365 for free in that instance. But like, I still have old versions of Microsoft Office Pro, Professional, Home Office, and you can still find those and buy those, and they're a lot cheaper. And it's only one device, but if you just need Office, you have everything you need there. So that would be my first thing. But if you're talking about which one is better overall between the two, it has to be Office 365 for unlimited ability. Because Google, as good as it is, as I'm not talking to you two, as good as it is nowhere near, like, I use Google Docs every day. I use Google Slides every day. I use Google Sheets every day. But There's still some things that I will go onto Excel to do and then upload it to Google Sheets because Google Sheets can't do it. So a lot better, but still not where it needs to be to replace it, in my opinion. Since you mentioned the beans, would they be better than the Sony? Um, so the beans are way better than the Buds Plus for sure, easily, way better in my opinion. The Sonys I never got to test out though, so I cannot say I cannot say whether they're good or bad. I've heard from my friends that did review it that they're good, but nothing mind blowing in terms of all around. And that's what Jabra did so well. Jabra, in my opinion, the 75Ts were awesome. They just didn't have the noise canceling and they didn't have the wireless charging. But these are awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Why do mid-range phones have even better signal reception than Samsung flagships like the S20 Plus, given both are same location and side-by-side same network provider? Fun fact about that, right? One reason sometimes you get better signal on a lower end phone than a higher end phone is because if the lower end phone has more plastic, it's better than the metal that's on your other phone. So almost all phone flagship casing, the frame is metal. And if you get one that's plastic, it's actually better signal. It's one of the things that I always found back in the day with like another tablet versus an iPad. The iPad always had worse Wi-Fi, even when they had the same Wi-Fi signal, same everything from the same point. You could literally download a similar app with similar file size, and it would just take so much longer. So much longer being like a minute more, but a minute. Compared to another a Samsung tablet at the time, which was plastic based. So yeah, that's one of the big reasons why you can sometimes get better signal. Ricky, thoughts on Apple One subscription? There was some news that Spotify hated it. Apple can't beat them. Hate it as Apple can beat them on price. It's crazy value though. I agree. It was something that we thought Apple would do, and they did it right. So, but the big thing about it is that Apple One subscription was always where Apple was going. Again, the whole idea is Apple's strategy now is not to be the best smartphone maker, not to be the best in the world. That was Steve Jobs' vision of Apple. That is not Tim Cook's vision of Apple. Tim Cook is to sell more devices, sell more products, so they can get you locked in. And once they have you locked in, then they put on the services. Then they get the monthly revenue from services, and then services subsidize because basically they are not selling as many phones as they used to. So what did they have to do? They had to make them cheaper, and they wanted to get more phones out there so they can get more people on their services. That is their new strategy, and Apple One subscription fits perfectly in it. I can definitely see Spotify being upset about that because, again, it gives them an unfair advantage. So iPhone is the only phone a person can buy that can play Fortnite? No, you can play Fortnite on Android or iPhone. However, you can't download it now on iPhone because of all the legal stuff that's going on. You can't download it directly from the Google Play Store right now. But you can download it from the Samsung Galaxy App Store if you have a Samsung device. You can also download it via third-party download. So the big difference between Android and iOS is on Android, you can go to a website like apkmirror.com and download any APK file, which is what an app is. You cannot do the same for iOS unless you jailbreak it. But that's the big thing. That on Android, it lets you get it from anywhere else. It's open that way, whereas iOS is closed. That's the difference. Does the signal reception have something to do with the processor that is inside the phone? No, it is a different chip that does your signal and antennas. I love small phones. Should I get the Pixel 5 or Pixel 4a? Well, as of right now, we're hearing the Pixel 4a might be bigger, but then that's been difference too. So we'll have to wait and see. You know, it's only 3 days away. Google's launch party. I feel like I might have to attend that, and I might be getting a special invitation box, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. And everyone in the put up Z2 if you have a Z Fold 2 and love it. If no, put. I said I send my Buds Plus back and Samsung, and they just replaced them. There you go. Perfect. The square on the back of the Note 20, where is the IMEI sticker goes? Oh, where the IMEI sticker goes. My Note 20 back is covered because I just switched to my wife's, but I want to say the IMEI sticker was kind of like in the middle here somewhere. Oops. I completely went out of focus. Dang it. Okay, sorry about this, guys. I have to have all this around me now. Look at all this stuff. But yeah, have to have this on my face for a second. But yeah, so I don't have it open. I guess I could take it out of here. Let me. These kind of cases are always more difficult to get out because they're 2-layer. No. There's no square or anything like that where the IMEI logo is, which is right here. Nothing. Say it. Still haven't received my Fold 2 yet, so I can't answer. I do have my Fold 2. I absolutely love it. I'll be doing a 1 week later video soon. You think it's a good deal to still get the Fold Old G mint condition in the box for $900, still on warranty until next month when everything is still on wrappers? So here's the thing, Luca. That would be a cool deal because of the fact that if you wanted to, you could technically buy that, and if I'm not mistaken, you could trade that in for $1,000 for the Fold 2. So you can actually give yourself a discount on the Fold 2 by buying that phone. I mean, you would probably have to pay taxes and everything like that, so it might not work out. But that's the funny thing about it because I swear the Fold 1, I think, was a $1,000 value if you traded in for the Fold 2. But yeah, I do think, look, the Fold 1 is still a good device, and I do believe it'll get software updates to make it more in line with the Fold 2. So I think it's a good overall value, yes. I get the 250 MB down to the Note 20 Ultra. I was streaming a YouTube video in 1440p while my brother's iPhone XS wouldn't even load 720p. I appreciate 5G, lol. Well, which iPhone 10 is it? Because the iPhone XR, for instance, or is it so the XS should have a 1080p display. The XR only has a 720p display, but no iPhone will be able to play a 1440p display because it doesn't have that high of a resolution. So yeah, that's a little bit behind of that. But yeah, iPhones, I will say, because of so much metal in the design, they've never had as good a signal, to be honest, as most Android devices. And that's just, again, seen them side by side, and it's always the same kind of thing. And again, I've had every iPhone since the iPhone 5, I think. So I've had every single iPhone. And always when I test it side by side, it just doesn't have as good as internet signal. Red Note series will be done after this next year. Note will merge the Z Fold since the device should be top tier specs over any other Samsung device next year. We'll see. Again, we have heard the Note would die for the last 3 years now. It hasn't happened. It has been meant to happen since the Note 7. The Note 7 was supposed to be the death of the Note, and they didn't want to bring it back for the Note 8, Note 9, Note 10. It still has been kicking, so we'll have to wait and see how it goes. So yeah. Do you remember what mid-range phone you were alongside your S20 Plus that had better signal reception when you were outside? I watched a video of you prior, and you had this mid-range phone that I don't. It was S20, S20 Plus. I don't remember which one it was. It could have been I had One Plus. I had One Plus. I had Red Magic. I had Pixels. I didn't have many mid-range phones, so those were the last ones that I've taken photos or videos with, I would say, in the past year or so. But yeah. Are you getting the S20 FE? I'm going to reach out to Samsung and see if I can, but yeah, that's the main thing. Not sure if that's spam or what you're trying to do. Yeah, I didn't see you actually ask a question, so. They only give 800 trade-in for Samsung. Oh, so they stopped it. For the pre-orders, they gave 1,000. For when you pre-ordered it, it was 1,000. So, okay, so it's not. But still, it's held its value pretty well. That's always a good sign. I don't know. Is there third-party apps that will take advantage of the 108 megapixel camera? No, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't take advantage of the 108 megapixel camera to be sure. I'm sure eventually someone will do something with a. I'm sure eventually someone will do something with a G cam to take advantage of it, but I would never shoot in 108 megapixel resolution. I would always use the pixel bending. Let's see. I almost forgot that the Note 20 technically the Note 11. Yes. I might return my Z Fold 2 this week. Wait until the Z Fold 3. Bigger battery. Praying for a slightly better aspect ratio, 16:9, 18:9, not 4:3. I completely understand that. I have been getting used to the screen resolution. I absolutely love Swift key on this keyboard. Way better than the built-in one. Way better in my opinion. Especially for Swift key is so much better for the front screen. Way better. Just the resizing is so much better on Swift key in my opinion. So very happy with that. Buy the S20 FE. I will not. I've spent over $5,000 on new tech in the past 4 weeks. So yeah, no, I'm tapped out. I shouldn't have even bought this much, but that's why I'm selling a bunch of stuff right now. What do you think the price for the Pixel 5 and S20 FE? Oh, about the price. You think Google Pixel went overboard and they should have reduced the price? No, I think both of them being at $699 are really good prices, to be quite honest. I think they're both going to sell very well at that price. Again, I think the FE should have been the original S20, so that is definitely something I think should have happened for a long time. And you know, Samsung learned a lesson, I want to say, by making one at that price point. And as far as the Pixel 5, I think that's going to be really where it should be. Google should not make a $1,000, $899 phone. $699 is a great price point for them and great for what they're offering, which is, again, one of the best camera experiences you can possibly get. Do you think the food is better with the Note 20 Ultra? Debating on getting the food is better? Like food mode? Or you mean something else? Um, are there mobile phones that have optical image stabilization on their front-facing cameras? Um, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, most modern Samsung and iPhones do have optical image stabilization on there. I think they started getting it around the S9 and the iPhone 10 on the front cameras, I want to say. I think that's when they added them. Yeah. Do you know if and how to find if the Gear S2 Classic will support software-wise? Um, Sam Mobile usually has a lot of software updates kind of things, but I don't know if they have it on watches. They typically have it on all Samsung phones, so that's the first website I would check out. But yeah, the Gear S2, because there was a Gear S3, and there was, yeah, I don't know how far back that support will go. Um, all right, so anything else? Oh, let's see if this works. Yeah, it still worked. So before we leave, I do want to give a shout out to our app our app that I created. It's called 50 First Date Questions. Great game if you want to get it for Android and iOS. It's a fun thing to definitely get all around in terms of being able to have a first date questions, great icebreaker, and definitely a fun time to have. Even if you have been married for going 4 years to 10 years like me, you definitely have the ability to find out new things and see how much a person has changed. I never usually ask for this, but if anyone can give a dollar super chat donation, I did this new plugin, and I thank you so much, Paul, for giving us a super chat donation earlier. But on this screen, I did a alert with super chat donations, so it should appear over here when you guys do a super chat now. I didn't do it on the other display, which kind of sucked. But I guess if anyone does super chat donation next week, we'll find out if it works. But I thought that was kind of cool because it's a new plugin that was available for the software that I use. So when someone does do a super chat, you can actually see it. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty cool effect that you guys will see hopefully next week if someone does a super chat. Okay, we'll do. Should I buy a Galaxy Watch 3 for around 350? Do you think it's worth it? I personally love the new ECG feature. Just health wise, it's such a great feature. But if not, I do have obviously plenty of experience with the Active 2 and the Galaxy Watch 3. Dang it, it didn't appear. It should have totally appeared. It should have totally appeared. Thank you so much, Michael, for your super chat donation. It says authorized. It says show alert. That's the test message. That's what's supposed to appear. I guess I'll still try to figure it out. It has authorization to do it. Don't know why it didn't. Thank you so much, Michael, for your super chat. I wanted to see if it worked because it was a cool new super chat alert that was supposed to come up. It was supposed to look like this again. It was supposed to look like this when donate, but yeah, not sure what happened. Sucks, but I just wanted to see if that worked. Thank you so much for Michael. I didn't mean to like ask for a donation. It was just because I wanted to see if that really cool thing worked so I could share your guys' post from now on. Dang it. I'll try to do some work. I just saw that it happened right before the chat, and I was like, oh, I'll post that. Let's see. So do I think it's worth it for Galaxy Watch? As I was saying, the Galaxy Watch, the first one, still has the best battery life of any of the watches. The Active 2 was pretty good. It's very comparable to the Watch 3, except for the look and design is completely different. This has a touch sensor overall in comparison to the mechanical bezel. So yeah, those are the two differences. But if you're more healthness conscious, I think that's the main reason to get the Galaxy Watch 3. And if you like the look, which the look is probably my most appealing thing for it. Any tips and tricks? I'm planning on returning the Z Fold 2. When I called Sammy on Saturday, they offered me $100 to keep it. I told them I'd call them back Monday. That is awesome that you got that deal, man. I actually got that from my Tab S7. So I'm not trying, and please don't kind of tell this to everyone. Maybe tell it to a few people here and there. But I've been sitting on that information for about 3 months now. If you try to return something that you bought from Samsung directly, not always. So it didn't work with my Fold 2, for instance, but it did work with my Tab S7. They will offer you 10% to $100 not to return it. This is something very sneaky, very interesting, but if you say you got a better price elsewhere, they will offer you that to not return it. So yeah. Just, again, be cautious of it. Because if it gets too much out there, we're not gonna be able to. we're not gonna be able to keep getting that discount. So yeah. But any tips and tricks? Yes, I do have. So tomorrow, I think tomorrow the video is going out. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday the video is going out for how to set up the phone and make it faster, make it longer battery life. I got about an hour longer battery life on it after doing that. So yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing, about an hour and a half actually. So I get about 7 hours of screen on time now, so pretty good for this phone, for having that big of a display. So yeah, I will have that video up shortly. If not Monday, then Tuesday. I think tomorrow might be the Tab S7, the Tab S7 Plus accessories, the keyboard case and everything, all those cases. And then we're going to be getting the next one, which is how to set up the Galaxy Fold. But that will most likely be coming Tuesday. But yeah, that's a fun little secret. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you always so much for watching. If you can, before you leave, please give a like, thumbs up before you head out. Thank you again, as always, for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.